Hello, in this video we are going to discuss how to calculate your salary if you take a leave. We will discuss relevant information you will need to find out, how to sift through the available information to determine what affects your salary and what does not. And we will discuss how to do the actual calculations on a real life example. Before we proceed, I just wanted to remind you, please subscribe to this channel. Please watch this video till the very end if you want to hear a joke, a real story that happened to me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please hit the bell if you want to get notifications of new videos. And all of this is going to make me happy. Before we proceed any further, let us discuss the process that we use when we apply mathematical knowledge in real life. We usually start with some kind of real life situation that we want to address, and then to address this real life situation, we usually need to sift through a lot of information. Some of that information we have, some of that information we don't have. Among the information that we do not have, there is some information that we can find out if we need to, but sometimes there is also information that might be relevant to the question we are trying to address, but we can't even find out that information even if you wanted to, but we still want to address the real life situation anyway. So this is sort of a challenge of applying mathematics in real life situations that is not always addressed when we learn mathematics, right? So when we take math courses, we usually work at the level of when we already have some kind of mathematical model, and so that would usually be presented to us as a problem that we usually see in math classes. And then in math classes, what we usually would focus on is, once we have a mathematical model or some kind of problem, how to get to the solution once you have a mathematical problem. But in real life, the process of getting to the point where we actually have a math model can actually take quite a bit of effort. And sometimes it may even be difficult to see that mathematical knowledge that we already have from the math classes we have taken is applicable to the real life situation that we are facing. To address this situation, I made this video a little bit messy on purpose, just so that we can see what goes on when we try to get from the real life situation to a mathematical model. So usually when we do that, we have to sift through a lot of information. We have to make some decisions. We are not sure what kind of questions to ask. And so in this video, I give an example and I really show on that example how to make a mathematical model and then how to get to a solution. So let's get back to salary calculations. So let us look at this real life situation. So we have a person whose name is Sam. So Sam and his wife expect a child sometime soon, and Sam wants to take time off work to care for his new baby during this calendar year. So the real life situation, I'm just going to describe it in terms of Sam's thoughts. So Sam has the following thoughts, more or less. Will my company even let me do it? Meaning take a leave to take care of my new baby. Maybe they have only maternal leave. The second thought that Sam has is that maybe my boss is not going to like it. And the third thought that Sam is having, well, even if the company does let me take a leave, it will probably be unpaid and it's going to probably cost me too much money to take that leave. And I'm not sure it's going to be worth it in the end. So then to address the situation, Sam needs to find out a few things. So first of all, Sam needs to find out what kind of leave is available for him to take care of his son. The second thing that Sam needs to find out, and here the finding out is going to actually involve solving a mathematical problem, is the money that Sam is going to lose if he takes the leave compared to the situation where he would continue to work and would continue to earn his full salary. So this is more in terms of information. But this is posing a question. And sometimes posing the right question is more than half of the solution. So to find out all the information that Sam needs to make his decision and to understand the situation better, Sam goes to human resources and asks all of his questions. And as a result of this conversation with the human resources, Sam has found out that he can plan on taking his paid vacation, which would be 2 weeks, when his son is born. Sam can take up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave as per the Family Medical Leave Act to care for his son. Sam must use all his sick days if he takes the family medical leave before he can go on unpaid leave. Sam's leave beyond his paid vacation and paid sick days will be unpaid. And as a bonus, Sam was able to find out that Sam's boss cannot retaliate against Sam for taking family medical leave. It would be illegal for Sam's boss to do so. And so, based on everything that Sam has found out from human resources, Sam has made a list of available information. So first of all, Sam already knows that his contract with his company is for the entire year, and it is for 12 months during the year, and his salary for these 12 months is $51,839. And Sam was able to find this out from his pay stub. The next piece of information is that Sam works 40 hours per week and 8 hours per day. Sam can take 2 weeks of paid vacation when his son is born. In addition to that, Sam can take 11 sick days after his vacation is over, and Sam knows that he has 11 sick days again from his pay stub, and he also confirmed with human resources. And overall, Sam can take up to 12 weeks off to care for his son. So now that we have listed all of this information, let us see what is the mathematical question that Sam needs to answer for himself to be able to make a decision about whether or not he wants to take the leave. So the question here would be, and we already actually mentioned it before, how much would Sam lose if he took 12 weeks off? It is clear that Sam can take 4 weeks and 1 day off without losing any money at all. It is good that Sam found out all of this information, because it turns out that the situation is much better than he thought it would be. He actually can take 4 weeks off and 1 day, and he would not lose any money at all. Notice that this information is available to Sam just for asking information. There wasn't really math involved in computing this, except for maybe understanding that 11 sick days is a little bit more than 2 weeks. So sometimes we can get questions to answers like that without really doing any math computations, right? So this is encouraging, and I hope that everybody who listens to this video will experience the lowering of the level of their math anxiety is that sometimes answering the questions that seems to be very complicated and involving some difficult mathematical knowledge, sometimes just by collecting information you will be able to see and answer a lot just then. So okay, so that's the question still stands, right? Because if Sam does want to take 12 weeks off, then everything that's beyond these 4 weeks and 1 day would be unpaid. And so Sam needs to figure out if he really wanted to go for all 12 weeks off, which would be wonderful for him to be able to help his wife and to care for his son. But he wants to know what will be the financial impact of that. So one way to ask this question is how much money would Sam lose? But let's just say sometimes it's good to ask the same question in several different ways. So I hope that you agree that knowing how much money Sam will lose by taking the leave is pretty much the same thing as asking what Sam's yearly salary is going to be if he does take his leave. So this is also an important thing because sometimes you can ask the very same question in two different ways, and sometimes in terms of mathematical computation, answering one of the questions is easier than answering the other one. So to answer the question of how much money Sam is going to lose if he's going to take 12 weeks off, let's just summarize the information that Sam has one more time. So first of all, we know that for the 12 months, if Sam works all the time, he is going to be paid $51,839. We also know that Sam can take 2 weeks plus 11 days of leave and not lose any money. And so we know that Sam's unpaid leave is going to be the 12 weeks minus the time of the paid leave. So from here we can see that it's actually a good idea to keep rewriting the information that we have in more and more concise way so that we sort of sift through the information that is relevant and information that's not relevant. Because whether or not that paid leave is a vacation or sick days, it's not so relevant for the computation of Sam's salary. So we can just kind of clump these two things together, you see? So that's how you kind of get a mathematical model that becomes more and more simplified. The simpler you can make things look, the better. Right. So now the thing is that these are in different units, right? So this is 2 weeks and this is 11 days. So the thing is that we know that every week has 7 days. That's true. However, Sam only works 5 days per week. So 1 week is 5 working days for Sam as far as this computation is concerned. So if we want to translate these units, the 2 weeks is going to be 10 working days. And if we add to that 11 days, we are going to have 21 days. Okay, so the 21 days are going to be paid leave. So now 12 weeks is going to be how many days? Well, we have to multiply it by 5, so that's going to be 60 days. So Sam can take 60 days of leave total, and out of those 60 days, 21 are going to be paid leave. So duration of unpaid leave for Sam is going to be, so duration of unpaid leave for Sam it's going to be 60 minus 21, which is going to be 39 days. So for these 39 days, Sam is going to be not paid. So this is the money that Sam is going to lose, the money for the 39 days that of leave that he's going to take. So it is clear now that this is the money Sam is going to lose. So the relevant question to answer is the following. How much money does Sam earn in one day if he does not take a leave? So at this point, to answer this question, we could, of course, just try to look at Sam's pay stubs and try to figure out how many working days were in 1 month and all of this kind of stuff. My personal preference in this kind of situation is that if you don't have to take new information and have to find it out from somewhere, if you don't have to do it, if you can do with the information that you have already, then just use only the information that you have already. Pay stubs can be very confusing. There is a lot of information on a pay stub. Looking into a pay stub can be like sort of falling into a black hole. It's just sometimes better to do with a raw information. And by the way, it goes without saying that this number over here, that was pre-tax number. We are not talking anything about taxes here. That's a separate question. So what I would do in this situation, I would just try to see how many working days are there in these 12 months of this particular year. So I went online and I found out that there are 262 weekdays in 2020. And of course, if you were to do this for some other year, you would have to adjust this answer. So now you may ask a question, well, what about the holidays? Well, Sam's holidays are paid. So it doesn't matter. He gets paid for these holidays. He doesn't have to show up to work during these holidays, but his salary is still being paid during those holidays. So it doesn't matter. So with this information, we can answer the question of how much money does Sam earn in one day in this year. Well, he earns 51,839 for 12 months, so it's for 262 days. So in one day, he is going to earn 51,839 over 262. So 51,839 over 262 is approximately 197.86. So this is how much money Sam makes in one day during 2020. So now we should be able to figure out the answer to this question, the amount of money that Sam is going to lose if he takes the 12-week leave, because it's going to be the amount of money that he would make in 39 days. This is going to be 39 times 197.86, but I really like to be precise in these calculations, because the more you round here, and I rounded here, the more inaccurate you become at the end of the day. So I'm going to multiply this by 51,839 and divide it by 262, because this is how much Sam makes in one day, and he is going to lose his salary for 39 days if he takes a 12-week leave. So this is how much money he's going to lose. So I went and computed. This is going to be 7,716.49. So this is how much Sam is going to lose in terms of his salary pre-tax if he's going to take 12 weeks off to care for his newborn son. So then you might say, well, okay, that's how much Sam is going to lose. What about the original question? What is Sam's salary going to be for 2020 if he does take this leave? It's going to be 51,839, his full salary, minus that amount that he's going to lose, which is 7,716.49. which is going to be 44,122.51. This is what Sam's salary is going to be if he takes 12 weeks off to care for his newborn son. So then you may ask a question, well, what is his salary going to be per month during his leave? That question really involves information about how Sam's payroll decides to distribute his salary over the entire year. So the best bet in this situation is to make sure that you know what your salary should be per the entire year. And make sure that the gross income on your pay stubs that you receive from your employer for the 12 months really does add up to this entire salary, which in our case is 44,122.51. So I hope you liked this video. I made it a little bit messy, but I made it that way on purpose, because I thought that as a math professor, usually when I teach students these kind of problems, first of all, the problem comes in the book as a word problem, and the author of the book has already done all of these steps of finding out information. That's something that Sam had to do by going to HR and sifting through what's relevant and what's not relevant. And when you get a problem in the book, it's really all of the math modeling part is already done by the author. The thing is that in the real life, you actually need to compose the math problem before you solve it, so you actually know what kind of question it is that you are answering, what information is available, what part of it is relevant and what part of it is not relevant. And it tends to be a messy process, and so I made this video a little bit messy on purpose, just to show you, just to give you a sense of what takes place in this area here, where you in between real life situation and the actual math model that you are solving. My purpose here was to give you more confidence that it's actually not as difficult. And I hope that you remember that just by finding out some information from the employer, Sam was already able to figure out that he can take 4 weeks and 1 day off without losing any money at all. So sometimes just by asking questions, you can find out a significant amount of information. And then throwing off and not going for the collection of information that is not that relevant, so not looking into the pay stubs, was actually another thing that we did here in this solution. So again, one more time, I hope that you will appreciate that this video was more geared toward real life situations. I can certainly make another video where just like would be in a math class. If that's something that you would like me to do, just leave a few comments and I will do just that. So now, coming back to my promise, I did promise that if you watch the video till the very end, I'll tell you a joke, which was actually a real story that happened to me. So if you look at the about section of this YouTube channel, you'll see that I'm a mathematician. I have a PhD in mathematics and I have worked as a math professor for more than 10 years. And so my experience has always been that when people meet me for the first time, they ask me what I do for life, for work. And as soon as I tell them that I'm a mathematician, it's sort of like a conversation freezer. The conversation doesn't really go any further. After that, people will say, oh, well, I wasn't good at math, or I don't like math, or something like that. In very rare occasions, the conversation will go further, but it's kind of hard that way. And so there was one time when I was flying on a plane and there was a person sitting next to me. And so so he asked me, what is your line of work? And I said, I'm a mathematician. And then I asked him, I said, so what do you do? And he said, I am a funeral director. I was so happy to hear that answer. I think that was the one time that somebody beat me in how not fun. Their profession or line of work was to tell to other people. And so I actually asked his permission and I said, can I share it as a joke with my students and other people that happened to me? And he said, like, go for it. And so that's what happened to me. I sat next to a funeral director on a plane.